Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood YouTuber, and long time no see, guys. It has been a minute. I have been really busy, working a lot. Really haven't had time to shoot any videos. Of course, I have a bunch of videos planned ahead in coming up in the future. A lot of reviews that I just haven't had time to get to. So, I figure, we do like another Geek haul. I can't remember what episode this is. I think it's like 18, 19. So if you guys are not familiar with my channel, what I usually do is I do Geek hauls, and they're consistent of either like action figures, video games, movie, clothing, just kind of geek stuff that we all are accustomed to buying and purchasing throughout our collecting years. I don't know what to say. Collecting years, collecting phase. This is the shit that we accumulate over life, essentially. That us geeks love to purchase and to possess. Items that we like to purchase and possess. Kind of like an action figure haul, but this is consistent of, like I said, movies and video games and all that stuff. Okay, so without further ado, guys, we're going to go ahead and start off with some video games. I may or may not have showed you some of the video games that I've purchased over this, over my channel. I can't remember what was the previous Geek haul I did with the other video games. So some of these video games you might have seen in my previous Geek haul, but I wasn't for sure, so I figured I'd bring them out. As you guys know, I just recently purchased a Wii U. No, not a Nintendo Switch, because I found the Wii U for really cheap, and so I bought it. And so, now I'm buying the video games for it. And essentially, it's the same thing. Nintendo, as long as I have my Mario and my Mario Kart, I'm all good. So here we have Star Fox Zero, awesome game. If you guys are accustomed to playing Star Fox, you know how awesome Star Fox is. So there's Star Fox over there. I can't remember if I showed you this Tekken right here. I think I showed you the Tekken Wii U edition, and you can fight with Mario characters, which is pretty awesome. You can fight as Mario and stuff like that. So I'm old school. I'm old fashioned kind of guy. And I like collecting a lot of the older stuff. Another game that I purchased is Sonic Racing Transform. Awesome racing game if you like Mario Kart. It's not as good, but it's definitely worthy. So I definitely recommend Sonic All-Star Racing Transform. If you guys have the Wii U, if not, then oh well. If you guys can find it on another system like Nintendo Switch, I'm sure they would have it. A game that's similar on Nintendo Switch. So another game I got is Most Wanted. And of course, these are from GameStop, because you can see the pre-owned right here. And that's one of the reasons why I love buying older systems, because you can always find the games really cheap. So I can't really keep up with the newer games out, because I don't have like $60 to spend every week, and an extra $60, because I buy a lot of stupid shit, and a lot of that stupid shit doesn't involve video games, except if they're like really cheap and really, not old, but significantly old. And $13.49 is something I can afford on my budget. And Most Wanted, a very awesome video game. So I definitely recommend that. If you guys are gamers, and you guys probably have played Most Wanted, or maybe most of these video games anyways. Another not video game I bought, guys, is this movie right here. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. It's an older movie. You can find it probably on YouTube or Netflix or Hulu. It is The Shadow, Alec Baldwin. Of course, Alec Baldwin. He's now playing Trump on Saturday Night Live and winning awards for his adaptation of Trump, I guess. So, but if you want to see an awesome movie, this is an awesome. It's kind of cheesy. That's one thing I like about it. If you loved like cheesy comic book movies like The Shadow, and I can't think of the Phantom. If you guys know what I'm talking about, like like The Phantom, like movies, like cheesy comic book movies from the 90s. If you like Batman and Robin, which a lot of people hated, or if you like the old classic, Batman television series, with the original Batman. I forgot what his name was. Damn it. But the original Batman TV series, what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is a very, very awesome movie if you love, like cheesy, comic book movies, The Shadow is definitely one of those movies. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? And of course, they have this guy. He's been in a lot of movies. What is his name? John Lone. So he's been in a lot of movies, if you've seen him, in the 80s and 90s. And of course, in the 2000s, he's made appearances here and there. He's changed up his appearance a lot. He doesn't have the beard anymore. Of course, this was when Alec Baldwin was a better looking guy in his younger days and was a little bit more skinnier too. So I definitely recommend The Shadow. This is from '96, guys. So if you guys didn't see The Shadow, check it out. It's a very, very awesome movie. If you like cheese, then you'll definitely like The Shadow. It's definitely, if you like Batman, like the classic Batman, Michael Keaton Batman, then you'll probably like this movie. So check that movie out. Really, really awesome movie. Okay, so we'll go to the action figures, guys, and the next action figure, or the first action figure I have in my collection is the Boba Fett. This is from the Archive, the Black Series. I finally got a Boba Fett, guys. I can't wait to review this Boba Fett for you. I really, really love this Boba Fett. I was going to track him down and buy him the original Boba Fett, but it came back out from the Archive. It's a re-released, so I didn't have to spend all that money on him. On the previous Boba Fett, so here's the one from the Archive, and he looks just as awesome. Probably the same figure. But yeah, I'm glad I have a Boba Fett in my collection. So there's Bobo. There's Bobo. And like I said, I haven't been buying much stuff, but the stuff that I have been buying, is nostalgic stuff. Another thing that I got. Let me bring my camera out here. Another Spawn figure. Now, this is a figure that I had like way back in the day when I was younger. As you guys know, by watching my channel, I review a lot of old figures, and a lot of those old figures are Spawn figures. And of course, this is from Youngblood, Rob Liefeld's Youngblood. And I got him for a really, really, really cheap price. And he was one of my favorite figures growing up to play with. So I'm glad I have him in my collection. He is from '98, I believe. Here are some of the figures. I pretty much have the entire Series 1. I'm thinking about doing like a re-review of Series 1. I have all these figures from Series 1. And this is Series 2, I believe. Badrock, Chappelle, Commando Spawn, Angela, Melbogia, and Pilot Spawn. I've reviewed most of those figures. I don't know. I might pick up the rest of this wave too, because it's pretty good and it's still classic. I do have a couple Pilot Spawns. I do not have that Melbogia. I don't think I reviewed that Angela. Commando Spawn was in. Chappelle, and then Badrock. I think Badrock was probably the best one from this series. And here are the other things that you can collect right here. Of course, I reviewed the Spawn Air Cycle. And that's it. And if I can find these other two, Spawn Alien, don't really care. But if I did find it for a cheap price, I would buy it. I reviewed the Violator Chopper. Awesome, awesome motorcycle. And these two, if I could find the Monster Rig and the Spawn Mobile for cheap, I definitely would go pick him up. But there's a little thing from the 90s. So stay tuned for that, guys. If you love old school Spawn action figures, stay tuned for that. And then last but not least, we have another, I guess, McFarland figure. But this is from Wetworks, and the reason why I picked him up is, well, because he's a vampire. That's what he's called, vampire. And he just looks weird and awkward and awesome, and he was cheap. And that's one of the main reasons why I got him, because I got him pretty much for dirt cheap. And, you know, he was just a figure that I was just kind of curious. And, yeah, I picked him up. So, removable leg armor, stands 7 3/4 tall. So that's also one of the main reasons why I bought him, because he was cheap and he was really, really tall. And he was a vampire too. So when you see a vampire for cheap, you got to get him. You know? I doubt he'll suck. Oh, I'm sorry, that was bad. And here are some of the other wetwork figures. There's Werewolf looking hideous. Grail, Dane, Mother One. I've seen all these other figures and never picked them up because they look kind of like crap. Here are some of the other Youngblood figures. I reviewed that Troll. That's probably the only figure that I reviewed from the Youngblood series. And that's about it. Oh, here's Spawn. This is Spawn. What did I review from here? I reviewed Spawn 2, which was not all that great, even though that Spawn 2 looks a little bit different from my previous one. So this one looks pretty awesome, but I don't think I'm going to pick them up. And yeah, I haven't never reviewed any of these figures except for maybe Violator 2 and then Future Spawn, which Future Spawn is one of my favorites. And then here are the other Spawn figures. So yeah, I've reviewed quite a few Spawn figures, guys. Most of these Spawn figures I have reviewed on my channel. So if you guys want to check out any of those reviews, check them out. I definitely have an archive full of Spawn figures. And yeah, I figure I'd pick up this guy right here and check him out and do a review on him, being that I love doing, you know, reviews on vintage figures. So also I do have other figures coming in the mail later on this week, but I figure I'd do a Spawn haul right now, being that I have time, a little bit of time in the day. Not a Spawn haul, but a Geek haul. And just show you guys what I've bought throughout, I guess, the week or weeks, you know. Like I said, I haven't been spending much. I've just been, you know, here, there, and just trying to cut back on my money, even though I've pre-ordered a lot of stuff, and I have a lot of stuff coming in the mail, so stay tuned for that. So, guys, there was my little Geek haul. Tell me what you guys are anxious to see. Which one do you want to see? Of course, I'm not going to review any of the video games or movies. The figures are probably are the ones that are going to be reviewed. Most likely, it's going to be the badrock. I'm not really for sure. I don't really have an idea of what I'm going to review next coming up. It's just going to be a random thing. But also, like I said, I have other things coming in the mail, so stay tuned for other stuff that you didn't see in this haul that's going to be reviewed later on in on my YouTube channel. So there you guys have it. I'm out of breath, man. It's been a while since I've done a Geek haul, or a video, to say the least. So there was my little Geek haul, guys. I think this is episode 18 or 19. Of course, you'll know it when you see the video. So I just want to thank you guys for watching. So if you like this video, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to receive more cool reviews like this. And there you guys have it. There was my little Geek haul. Just want to thank you guys for watching. And we are out. Bye.